The income stream, and it's the weekend, which means we're going to do some weekend website and YouTube channel reviews. If you're watching the replay, hashtag team replay in the comment section. If you're here with your friends today live, say hello to each other. If you're a member, awesome, thank you. Use your emojis. If not, no worries. You can sign up if you'd like. Not required. I'm just thankful that you're here with me today on a Saturday. We're just going to hang out. We're going to learn together. We're going to have some fun. I have an example to share with you. We're going to learn some lessons. I'm going to answer some questions. We're going to have some more fun. And I'm just so thankful that you're here with me today. The income stream, Quaranteam, you're amazing. Thanks for helping me get motivated to wake up every single day. 142 days, is it? I don't even know, but every day has been awesome and more awesome than the next, or than the previous. Anyway, I need to stop talking. Let's go.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right, Team Flynn, you're amazing. We got a lot to cover today. I have an example to share with you that I wanted to point out. I was actually watching videos yesterday on YouTube. Went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. If you're in the chat with me right now, if you'd be open to it, let me know in the chat what your latest rabbit hole has been, or what sort of deep corner of the internet you've been getting involved with. If it's too dark, then maybe you don't want to share it. But I've been diving into the world of gardening on YouTube. And I found somebody, a fellow San Diegan, in fact. His name's Kevin from Epic Gardening. And I've just been so interested in his videos, and more than just the content, because I have what's the opposite of green? Red? I have a red thumb. No, that sounds like I'm a murderer or something. I am not a great gardener, but I want to get better. And because we're at home and it's the kids and they can get involved, and you can, cultivate salad and different kinds of vegetables, eat healthy living, and all that great stuff. I want to do it. I'm determined to do it. So Epic Gardening, fellow gardener here says Tim, which is awesome. Yeah, I am thrilled to dedicate some time and effort into learning about this. But I wanted to show you Kevin's channel, because as we get into some YouTube channel reviews and as we do some of this stuff, hey Archer, happy Saturday. Yo, I appreciate you being here. Purple thumb. Purple thumb, really? Why purple? I kill everything. I can't take care of anything but myself, right? I feel like Erica, you and I are cut from the same cloth there. GTO says, haha, Pat Flynn, business mentor and murderer. Purple thumb. Okay. Why is it purple thumb? That's strange. Anyway, I wanted to show you a video in particular that was on into some YouTube channel reviews and, well, Epic Gardener. Epic Gardening. Sorry. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. So here is his channel, right? So I'm going to do a channel review for Kevin here. And of course, he's doing amazing. He's got nearly 1 million subscribers. And what's really cool is, he has a small urban home, yet he's able to still teach and do all these things from his house and with his garden in the backyard. And I wanted to share with you a particular video on mistakes that he's made that was really well structured, that I even learned from. And I wanted to break it down for you if that was okay. So as you can see, I am subscribed. You can tell in his channel, he's got a nice picture of a smiling face. Epic Gardening, grow your green thumb, which is great. Green colors, practical garden videos. So it kind of tells you exactly what this is about. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Love that, because it's just like, this is when these videos happen, right? Let me put myself away there, which is really cool. So Epic Gardening, you scroll down, look at his thumbnails versus his titles, right? Build a DIY plant caddy for under $30. DIY plant caddy there. Some of his most popular videos up here, like grow your own ginger, little picture of ginger, how to grow ginger in containers and get a huge, you're kind of like, what is this? Gardening water tips for the thumbnail here. 5 watering mistakes you're probably making. I think this was the video I saw. Was it? No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one. Container? No, mistakes. Let me just... Epic Gardening mistakes. Here it was. 9 beginner raised bed garden mistakes to avoid. So I'm going to play this video for you, and you'll be able to hear Kevin. I want you to pay attention to the intro, when he says who he is, and how you get interested in what he's up to, even though he admits he also has made these mistakes himself, right? So let me play this video from the beginning. It might play at the end because I watched it all the way to the end. So let me just...
Raised beds are one of the most popular ways to garden, especially in urban spaces like my urban front yard here where I have 15 raised beds. I've gone a little raised bed crazy.
So you're learning about raised beds. He's sharing that raised beds are cool. Look, I have 15 of them. So he's showing proof already that at least this is a topic that he knows about, right? And he's in front of his subject there. It would be really weird if he was talking about this, you know, in his home with like a podcast setup, right? So he's out in his garden, and so that's really important.
But there's some mistakes that you can make, especially in your first couple years growing, that can really hamper your success, which is why we're talking about exactly how to avoid them in today's video.
So, hey, he's hooked us, right? If you're going to be using these things, there's some mistakes that you might make, and I want to tell you about them, right? And he says, even if you're in the first or second year of doing this. So some B-roll, right, showing some of the subject.
Kevin Espiritu here from Epic Gardening, where it's my goal to help you grow a greener thumb, and you know one of the benefits.
So really small things. Now he's talking about who himself is, and I'll replay this again because he does it really quickly, right? But listen to when his voice comes in over the B-roll. It caught me off guard in a great way because it made me keep watching. It's a really great way to continue engagement in a video is to start one thing before the last thing ends, right? So let me play the B-roll for you one more time.
In today's video.
B-roll here. Proof. Now listen.
Kevin Espiritu here from Epic Gardening, where it's my goal to help you grow.
You see that? It kind of like tied into the end there, which was really cool. So now I'm going to play for you the intro. So he's 24 seconds in. He's already told you what this was about. Now he's going to talk about himself. And notice how he, again, brings back the subject that you found or what you searched for or what you're here for.
Kevin Espiritu here from Epic Gardening, where it's my goal to help you grow a greener thumb. And you know, one of the benefits, almost a blessing, of not growing up as a gardener, kind of grew up as just like a SoCal skate rat kid and only came into gardening later in my life, 20s, my early 20s, is that I've made just about all the mistakes I'm gonna show you. And so I know the pain of them, and that gives me that experience to say, really avoid them. I wish I listened to the people who told me what to do early on, because in gardening, your mistakes aren't just like, oh, I messed something up and I can go fix it tomorrow. It's like, oh, my season's over. I ruined a season, right?
So what did he do there? He's amplifying what happens if you make these mistakes. This is ultimately the thing that goes wrong when you make these even little tiny mistakes, right? He says, oh, first of all, I love how he put his own personality in there, right? He's like, oh, I didn't grow up a gardener. I learned here, and I made these same mistakes too. So sort of almost qualifying him to talk about these mistakes. And then secondly, if you heard what he said there, he's like, and this is what happens when you make these mistakes. It's not like, oh, your day's ruined. It's like your entire season is ruined, right? So I love that, and I think we need to do more of that. So, hey, here's this video, and here's what happens if you don't do this, or here's what happens if you do. Kiki, welcome to Team Flynn Gold. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. The big fallout of a gardening mistake, right? Amplify the pain point. This now secures a person who's here, who's like, should I watch this? Yeah, you should, because then you could ruin your entire season if you don't, basically. He doesn't straight up say that, right? But I love how he did that. And again, chat, if you're learning things here, if you want to point something out to other members here, please feel free to do that. I'd love for you to help each other too. Let's keep going here. 1 minute in. I know who he is now, a little skateboarder turned gardener, right? So I'm into him a little bit. Just even if I'm not a skateboarder or a dude like that myself, like it's still something personal you know about him. He's admitted he's made these mistakes. I am in his beautiful garden. I'm hooked at this point, right? Let's keep playing until he gets to the tips.
If you make a mistake on a tomato, a corn plant, the orientation of your garden, as we're going to get into. So we have some tips for you. I'm going to explain what the problem is and then a better solution for it. So cultivate that like button for 1,000,001 raised bed gardening harvests in your future, and let's get into the video.
So that's a thing that he does in every video. I've noticed a lot of really big YouTubers, they will, I'm sorry I didn't play the, there was nothing to see there except what you're seeing here. My bad. I'll play it one more time, but I want you to pay attention to how the call to action to like, very similar to Graham Stephan, I've realized. Graham Stephan is somebody who also says very similar things in each video, where on the surface you're like, oh my gosh, wouldn't that get boring? But no, it becomes a part of the culture, it becomes a part of the language. So let me play that for you one more time. When he asks people to like, in every video, he says something sort of unique about it, right? Like in this video, I'm gonna, cultivate that like button. He says that every time for 1 million raised bed successes, and then another one about gingers, probably like, for a successful ginger harvest or what have you.
A season, right? If you make a mistake on a tomato, a corn plant, the orientation of your garden, as we're going to get into. So we have some tips for you. I'm gonna explain what the problem is and then a better solution for it. So cultivate that like button for 1,000,001 raised bed gardening harvests in your future, and let's get into the video. So I'm gonna try to do these tips in
Now he's in a different location, and it's kind of interrupted your pattern, and it's just really, really beautifully done. I'm actually taking notes myself, and there's, good reason why this video has nearly 1 million views, and it was recorded just a couple months ago, which is just kind of insane. Now, of course, he has the benefit of having a larger audience already, but this is how I found him, because I was looking up stuff about containers, raised bed gardens, and I was like, oh, I don't want to make those mistakes. So really, really great. Tim says, can we just discuss gardening today? That would be pretty cool. So great animation of the green thumb, right? An actual green thumb. There's just a lot of things he's doing right. Now, his camera is not perfect, right? It's a little blown out. He's using a point and shoot camera, especially around the evening. It gets a little grainy, but guess what? He's doing great because the messages he's sharing is really awesome. He's actually convinced me to already make purchases that I wasn't even knowing I was going to make literally 3 days ago, right? Like, this is the power of content, power of authority, power of connection, and just sharing really good information. And again, if you'd like a good example of somebody who structures his YouTube videos really well, and you're interested in gardening, epic gardening mistakes, really, really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, so we're going to talk about YouTube channels. We're going to talk about some websites today. And I see that there's been a few that have been submitted, and we'll get into those. In fact, High Peak Education is where we're going to start from yesterday. I don't know if you remember, but High Peak Education offered a super chat or joined and just said that, hey, could you review my YouTube channel? And that's what we're going to do. Okay, so a few things that we need to pay attention to really quick. This is essentially what I'm going to be looking for when I go into these YouTube videos and when I go into these websites, right? Does it tell me who this is for and what's in it for me, right? Who is this for and what's in it for me? That's really important, especially online when you consider that everybody's attention span is really small, especially on YouTube. We need to do whatever we can to help people go, okay, this is a spot for you, and this is why I can help you, right? Kevin did this in this video recently that I just shared with you on websites. This is your tagline and the quick messages up front, hopefully above the fold, where I don't have to work to figure out if this is for me. You have to do the work to help me know that this is the right spot for me, right? Number two, are you helping me know what to do first? This is something that a lot of audiences struggle with when they come to your website. They're just like, okay, well, there's so many things here. I don't even know where to begin, especially with a YouTube channel or a blog. It's just a giant library of stuff. And when you go into a public library, you kind of already have an idea of where you might want to go, what section you want to get into, right? Because it's easily divided and you can search things up really nicely. But when it comes to websites, oftentimes it's like, hey, here's the featured thing. It was a thing that I wrote yesterday that is not necessarily the first thing that you need to get into. So a start here area or someplace that at least guides me or helps me find the different categories that I might be interested in. On a YouTube channel, it's very, very important. Can't stay, got a client call. Keep on being awesome, bro. I appreciate you, Karma. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Can you put that up again? I want to take a screenshot. Yeah, absolutely. So what are you helping me do first? A start here page, or at least helping me understand, kind of guiding me, right? In a YouTube channel, how do you do this? Well, there could be a welcome video, which also serves the purpose of number one. There could also be, Karma, thanks for the super chat, my friend, I appreciate you. There on a website could be a getting started page, but on a YouTube channel also having an array of playlists sort of just highlighted on the home section. If we go back to Kevin's stuff, hopefully you got that screenshot. If that's cool, let me see here. If we go to Kevin's channel, let me go back. Right, nothing fancy. It's just kind of like white text on a little bit of a transparent thing. But as you can see, popular uploads, growing microgreens. Scroll down, houseplant care, guides and propagation. Scroll down, how to make a living on a quarter acre. So he actually started from scratch and kind of shows you the results. More playlists over here too. Fruit trees, growing dragon fruit is something he's becoming known for. So pretty cool stuff, So that's how you can help people and guide people through a particular place that they're on to know where to start. Number 3, how am I connecting to you versus others? Kevin did some things there that were like, hey, I didn't grow up as a gardener and I live in this urban house, but I learned, and I'm sure my mistakes with you. I was a skater and like all these little tiny things. And a lot of people listen to my podcast. The very first minute shares a random fact about me. That's how I'm connecting with people who find me for the first time, how I'm able to stand out. It doesn't mean you have to share every bit of your life with everybody, but just what makes you you. Like, share some of that, and I want to connect with you. A lot of times, and I remember when I first started building my website, I wanted to make it look more professional, right? This is my architecture-based website, and I had like a professional looking logo, and I didn't want to put my face on it because I was like, oh, that's going to make me seem less professional. And then once I started to get comfortable with putting my face up there and started noticing that people started to connect with me, things started to change. People started to interact more. People started to send me messages instead of not ever getting any messages at all, because now there's a human on the other end that we could connect with. Got the screenshot? Cool. Awesome. Cool, hold on a sec. And again, even if you are not a YouTuber per se, these are great principles, right? These are still great principles to do. And hopefully maybe I can encourage you to do a video or two, even though it might not be your thing, because video, there's huge opportunities there, especially with the algorithm and the search engine behind YouTube, right? So let's keep going here on your website, on your YouTube channel. Non-essentials, distractions, are there things that in there that sort of just take away from the experience? I remember last week we did a YouTube channel review and the video played like a minute-long intro before even getting into anything about why I was watching that video. And that's a mistake. On a website, oftentimes, it's a lot of information that is sort of irrelevant, or pop-ups or distractions that if you take them away, they don't actually remove any sort of thing from the website. And that's the big litmus test, is if I were to remove this image, if I were to remove this thing, does it actually affect anything? Does it negatively affect the experience if I were to take that away? In many cases, it's quite the opposite. And then finally, branding and design. I'm just looking for consistency. I'm looking for sort of just a theme, if you will, all the way through. So let's get into our first one, which is going to be High Peak Education here on YouTube. And then I'm going to go into some website reviews as well after that. So let's go into here, High Peak Education. Cool. All right. So here we go into the channel.
Are you seeking knowledge, help, or understanding of meteorology, math, physics, or computer code? Well, you've come to the right place.
Cool. I love the welcome channel video 1 month ago, so that was pretty recent. That's awesome. High Peak Education, weather, math, physics, and coding. I think the only thing I would ask you to share on top of that, and by the way, adding a lot of additional text in and around your cover art or your website around the main thing you want people to see is going to be distracting. I'm looking at the code over here, and I know you talk about coding a little bit, but if this was, this is almost the same size, and what I'm talking about is like this code over here. It's almost the same size font as some of these other things that are more important related to what your channel is about. So it is distracting. My eye went to the red and green, right? Chat, let me know if your eye did the same thing, right? Margaret says, can't get distracted about YouTube, your advice. Yes, awesome. Thank you. Margaret, great. Yeah, use those same things to review your own stuff as well. And we'll get into some websites as well, and we'll hopefully have something a little bit more pertinent to what you're doing. But again, I'm just trying to hit all angles here. And even though we're reviewing YouTube channels, there's still some stuff you can pick away, like distracting text, right? So this text here, thank you for helping us get sponsored. You're welcome, Destiny. So proud of you for that. I would either make this all gray, number one, or I would have some other element, maybe computer screens, a computer setup, right? Where maybe there's code on there that can't necessarily be read, but it's definitely distracting right now. Additionally, seeing the person on the other end is really key. This is very important also on websites. If you're on a website and there's a lot of text and information that may or may not be interesting to you, seeing a face there really quick. I'm thankful that you have your face showing up really quickly here on the YouTube channel trailer. However, putting your face in here, a friendly face, a smile, or you pointing to this, whatever you'd like to do, it doesn't matter. That's a simple and easy way to connect with people, is to put your friendly face on there too. I also will say that High Peak Education here in your avatar is not terrible, but it definitely looks like it gets cut off here. I was wondering if you could maybe create a circular version of the same thing where maybe it's High Peak Education stacked on each other, as opposed to, there's a lot of empty space here, and although there's a line here sort of breaking it up, it's in fact not being utilized very, very much. And a circle one, maybe that draws a little bit more attention. Maybe it's more like a bullseye type looking thing, could work really well. But weather, math, physics, and coding, what about that? Are we making that easy, or are we making it fun? Just one additional sort of benefit, right? Am I learning the basics of these things? Am I mastering these things? Am I, what's the benefit to me? This is almost like seemingly like a library versus a resource center for me. And there's a big difference there in terms of here's all the things, go, versus here is in fact exactly what you're going to learn. So let's play this welcome video one more time, because this is really important. I love that you have this. And again, this is something that could be embedded on a website, or you could have your own version on a website to welcome people in as well. Videos do perform very well. Not everybody will play them though, and not everybody can play them. So having some text in and around, and this is on YouTube, that's in the artwork area as well as in the description, and just your videos in general, it's really important. Okay, I have some comments about thumbnails here too, both good and bad. So we're on our way. But let's play this welcome video and see what we got here.
Are you seeking knowledge, help, or understanding of meteorology, math, physics, or computer code? Well, you've come to the right place. My name is Paul, and this is High Peak Education. I've been teaching these subjects for a decade and tutoring them for 2 decades. And I've received such positive feedback that I want to help you, as I've helped many students, and serve you with this video channel. We show you here simulations, lectures, example problems, demonstrations, interviews with top people in their field,
I like it.
as well as science when it happens. Our goal is to help you master this material and fall in love with your learning. Mastery is power and helps to distinguish you in your life and your career. Please like our videos. Please share them amongst your social networks. Please subscribe to our channel to grow the channel and never miss a video. And please ring that notification bell so that you never miss anything that goes on with our channel. Enjoy High Peak Education.
Cool, not bad. Okay, a few comments on that. Number one, I liked when you added the B-roll. You could actually, in fact, do that a lot sooner, or even right from the start before you introduce yourself. Similar to what Kevin did in sort of his videos, talking about the subject matter first, then introducing himself, and really nailing down the benefit of why people are here, right? And you started to touch on a lot of that, being able to master this and even furthering your career. I wanted more of that because that's what directly ties to me. We as humans, we are a selfish people. We want to know what's in it for us. And there was a lot of text and information there at the end about what's in it for you, Paul. So the call to actions to subscribe, to like, when you were like our videos, why? Subscribe to our channel, why? So share these videos on social. Well, what's in it for me to do that, right? That was I'm not saying that's selfish, because that's the most common thing to do, and you have to do that. You have to have those call to actions. But when you position it as a benefit to them to do those things, that's what works the best, because that's how you cultivate the community behind it. Hey, like this video so that more people can find it and learn the education that you're learning here too. Make sure to share it with your friends, because this will be an easy way for them to understand how you're getting so great at learning physics and math and coding, right? Subscribe to the channel, and you mentioned this, so that you never miss a video and you can stay on top of your learning, right? So include those benefits as well. It definitely seemed a little bit long. It took up about 20 seconds of the video on a 1 minute, 12-second video. So anyway, just great first pass. I think that's fantastic. and it's not terrible. Like, so you can leave it up there for now until you have some time to sort of refilm another one. Samson's back. What's up, Samson? Great stuff. Okay, let's scroll down here. Oh, the other thing is I will say that just for images of you and pictures and video of you, Paul, just a little light in front of you pointing to you would help a lot, because we can see that even though, and again, I'm just getting picky here with you because you're doing a lot of things right, but I want to help you improve, right? We can see a shine on your head, and that's just very common, right? Versus more of a wash of the light on your face. So you can balance that out. I don't know if that's fluorescent lighting. It likely is. You can turn that off. In fact, here in my office right now, my lights, my overhead lights are off. If I were to turn that on, actually, let me see. I don't know if you could see here what, so you can see it's a little bit backwashed because of the lights behind me, but there, you see that bright light there, right there? That's what we're seeing. So that's fluorescent lighting coming from above, or even LED lights can do that. So what I have is a light right here that just, if you want to see my setup, patflynn.com/live setup, and you'll see the one light that you might need to just change all that. I turn the lights off. Then I have this light, boom. And now I'm getting this. Dan, welcome to Team Flynn.
Bruh.
Thanks for being here, my friend. Team Flynn Platinum. So I have this providing a nice sort of wash over here, sort of at a 45-degree angle, which creates this shadow. Do you see this shadow right here on my neck? This pops my face out from the screen a little bit more. And then I have what's called a trim light. It's just right off of camera here, almost behind. You can almost see my hand sort of reflecting that light. It comes off of me and it adds this little line. You see that, how it's a little bit lighter right here? Like that. Just want to say these reviews are great. Thank you, Michael. So this light, this trim light, makes me almost like outlines me from the background a little bit more. This light right here, right? You see how it's a little bit lighter on this side? So that's great. Those are like really the two lights that you need. A wash light, and if you don't have access to these kinds of lights, really easy. Face a window if you have the opportunity to do that, and the window will do a lot of the work. That natural lighting, not direct light, but just sort of the light from outside. And again, that's hard. Rim light. Thank you, Susan. These are super helpful. You're welcome. Backlighting gives more interest. Yes, these lights back here, which may be even a little bit too bright. I don't have a dimmer control. If I did, I would turn it down a little bit, and I have a blue LED light, again, just to pop and add a little bit more personality there. It can get crazy. You can get a little crazy, but the simplest thing is to have a light source in front of you as opposed to above you and making you look a little bit darker. And just, I'm noticing on the thumbnails here, for example, that's the case. And that's fine. Again, getting a little picky, trust me, it took me 10 years to learn these things, and I want you to learn them now. Puppy teaches us calculus. This is super cute. I love that. Supply and demand with algebra. Helicopter blades, rotational inertia. So you have the titles here, helicopter blades, rotational inertia, and then you're saying that again. You could use the thumbnail to add text that's a little bit different, or maybe an arrow pointing to the blades that say math happens here, or how does this work? Also, the rotational blades are actually quite thin here, and there's this white, I don't know what the white is here on the right-hand side as well, but this seems to be a video that's doing really well already. I would recommend updating this thumbnail right away if that's possible, to just have it pop a little bit more. But again, I like that your face is in each of them because it makes me wanna like learn more about you too, which is pretty cool. Okay, let me zoom out here. Popular uploads. Yeah, you're doing a great job. Just keep up the great work. Here are your playlists. You have, see here you're doing something really, really well. You have rotational motion videos, current electric and DC circuits, magnetism, etc. I like that. I like that a lot. Hey, is Margaret still here? Margaret, if you'd like, I'd love to it's crazy how much different lighting can improve what a camera perceives. It's why I take pictures outside in the shade. I think that's super smart. Let's see, Margaret. Hey, do you have a website that you'd like me to review? I'd love to help you out and check you out. Make sure you get value here. Love picking up these tips. We're thinking of upgrading our lighting setup. Now it's just-in-time learning. Thanks, Pat Flynn. Cool. Fantastic. Destiny Show also is getting sponsors now. Martin is his podcast just passed 700,000 downloads. So good. So good. Yeah, but Paul, your thumbnails are pretty decent. I mean, you're really close. I think, like, for example, this one's really great too. Ideal gas law gauge problem, proper tire inflation. Again, you could benefit from having different text there. And yeah, it's just interesting. You're sort of floating here. Do you see that? You sort of cut off there, which is fine. I know you're just taking the sort of bottom part of you and moving you up there, but cool. Awesome. Well done. I think you're doing an excellent job. Let's keep it up. And let's move on. So I'm going to go to, let's see if I can go to, in fact, you know what? I think it may be easiest just to kind of crowdsource the audience here. And if you have something you'd like me to review, let me know in the chat. It might not show up because YouTube might hold it hostage, but I would love to see what I can do. I also know, and Grandma Goody, I want to get to you as well. I want to go back to your YouTube channel perhaps at the end here, because I know that you have made a lot of improvements as well. You've been reviewed here way back when and have had some time to make improvements, so I'd love to do that as well. Question from Margaret here, which I really love, and that is, how big of an issue is it to have so many topics? Right, and this relates to sort of what Paul had here, right? Physics, code, math, etc., right? It could be a lot of things. If people come there for one of those topics and they see videos about another topic that's not of interest to them, then they're not going to be as likely to A, subscribe, and B, watch every video. That's in fact a problem that I have, right? That's a problem that I have, and it's one where cool. All right, thanks guys for, I see some of the submissions, and again, it's going to be random. I'm going to start with Margaret and a few others, and then we'll go from there. But that's a struggle that I have on my YouTube channel in particular, and it's why when I create a video, a very small percentage of people who are subscribers watch it. It's because not all of my videos are relevant to everybody. So that's the problem. The nice thing is I can capture more, I can extend more arms out, if you will. But at the same time, I would much rather have niched down, and it's still a work in progress for me on YouTube, right? In my website and on the blog, it's very clear. You're here and you know what you're going to get every time a new episode or blog post comes out. On the YouTube channel, it's been sort of experimental and random, and I'm still trying to hone in on who I am here. Now, I think the income stream has become the thing that's been very consistent and very specific to who this is for and why it's here, and etc. So I think that I still have some work to do, y'all. I still have some work to do. Definitely, it can be organized in a way, and if you can create that sort of glue that puts everything together, right? I think that could be an amazing thing. For example, Paul could potentially take these three topics and have some sort of thread that puts them all together, right? Puts them all together, and maybe connect them, if that makes sense. Woo, okay, let's go to stitchinginthewoods.com. And I know I have sort of like a submit for review thing that you have to subscribe to and whatnot, but I think this is just a little bit easier. And that way I can ensure I get people who are in today. So I might stop doing that in the future and look for perhaps a different way to select people. But cool. So here we are, and we are at Margaret's website, Stitching in the Woods. And remember, these are just based on my own opinion. These are here to help you, and any constructive criticism, I hope we don't, just this is for everybody. Take these personally, and I'm just trying to help you improve. And I always try to position these tips, and I will also share what I like. And what I like here is just the nice, clean feel of this website, right? I see even like, I love this little, you see that blue bar right at the top? I don't know if you could see that, but little things like that I love because it just connects the colors together. The colors are really great. One thing to keep in mind is that cursive writing is very difficult to read at a small scale. If I were to kind of make this smaller, you can see that it disappears really quickly, where I can still see a lot of this stuff down here. Now it looks a little off because I zoomed out, so don't worry about that. I'm gonna zoom in to 100% there. But just keep in mind, cursive writing is hard, is very difficult to read at a smaller scale. And where are people reading a lot of this stuff? On a website, right? On a website. Stitching in the Woods, your temperature blanket guide from dream to woven in ends. So a temperature blankets, I've learned, are these things where based on, I guess, the day of the week or the week of the year, and the weather forecast, you choose a different color or whatnot. So you kind of track the gear based on sort of like the heat or the hot or cold of the day, right? Am I thinking correctly? I think that's really cool. And what I would love to see is a temperature blanket right up front. One that's maybe like, wow, that I would love that. Or maybe you can hold one up and have your face in there, Margaret, if you don't mind. Yeah, I see your picture there, which is really great. I would love to see like the final product or the thing that I can aspire to, and you there sort of sharing it. I see this is sort of create your own unique piece of history, which is great. But this doesn't provide enough context for why we're here, right? Maybe a picture of you holding your 2019 temperature blanket and saying like, hey, join me for 2020, for example. It's a row-by-row documentation of the temperatures where you are. Planning one can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. I love the hook there, which is really great. You found the one place on the internet that is entirely focused on temperature blankets. I like them so much. So let's show it off. If this is entirely about temperature blankets, I'm not getting that feel here right from the start. I have a little bit of a text here, temperature blanket guide. I have the temperature blanket ebook, and then I have text here. But if I didn't know better, I wouldn't have known that this was a temperature blanket, but back here on a perhaps colder sort of season, right? The pick at the top is one, but you know that, but I don't know that. And people who are just starting out, where you have to define this. If this is in fact for beginners, which it seems like it is because you are defining this, then a person wouldn't know this. It might just look like regular stitching, if that makes sense. So, oh, I'm sorry, you guys can't see my screen. My apologies. I gotta get it. I need a monitor on what you are seeing because I see my face here, and I apologize about that. So, anyways, what I was saying was stitching in the woods, and this is great. I love the name and the family feel of it, how clean it looks. But if this is indeed for beginners, which it is because you're defining this, right? This doesn't. I don't know that this is a temperature blanket. I don't know that as a beginner, if that makes sense. So we have to connect a person and where they're at with where we want them to go and how to help them understand what it is that's here right away. This is what's called the curse of knowledge. When we know something, it's very difficult to remember what it's like not to know something, right? If that makes sense. So hopefully that's coming across. And what I was saying here was that the cursive writing disappears at a much smaller scale. So if I were to scroll down like that, you could see that it kind of disappears really quickly there. So I want to see like versions of blankets, and again, you're showing sort of like a close-up version. Like, how big is this? Can I lay on it? Can I, is there like, is this for my puppy to lay on? Is it something that I can actually, sleep under and whatnot? Let's see. I love how you've positioned it as like the one place on the internet, though. I love that, because then if I'm interested in this, then I'm like, okay, like this is the spot, right? But we need some reinforcements there, if that makes sense. So that's really good. This site isn't about me. It's completely about you. I love that. I don't think we need to say that. I would love for you to show that, right? Where you make it about them. And you're using all the right words here, right? You'll find lots of things that will help you. If you go to wait, who is this? Tamara Kelly of Moogly. I even wrote an article for one of the best craft bloggers. Tamara. Okay, so some social proof, which is I think is really great, really great. Misspelling there. Link to this article. The fact that you wrote for a really, really big blog or big authority website, like show that, like link to that. That's going to connect to that website. It's going to show even more proof for you right up front. So that's really great. Maybe if there was even a screenshot of that. Again, any proof that you can offer to people who are here, because people default to doubt. Like, okay, temperature blankets. Like, who is this? How do I know this is the place for me? Show me proof that I'm gonna, my time invested here is worth my time. If you're ready to jump into the super fun project, then go to the Start Here page. Love that you have a Start Here page. That's awesome. Thank you. About me, that's great. Start Here. So let's say that I come here and I'm gonna hit Start Here. Welcome, my website and I are here to serve you. I understand each visitor may have different needs. That's why I made this page to help you see what options you have. Find the one that best describes you and jump right in. So temperature blankets, okay. I need to learn about the basics of temperature blankets, help figuring out the details of my blanket, a more detailed way to learn about temperature blankets, a printable pattern available on Ravelry. Okay, so I'm still like, okay, well, which one of these is best for me if I'm literally just starting from scratch? I think you can be even more clear with that. Temperature blankets. If you're an absolute beginner, start here. This will help you understand more about a temperature blanket and where we can start. If you've started a temperature blanket or you know a little bit about it, click here to help you understand more about the mistakes that you might make and how to avoid them, right? If you're a pro, go here, right? Just, we need to be a little bit more like, just assume there's like a monkey on your page. We need to be that clear, right? Not, again, please don't take offense that your audience are not monkeys. I'm just saying we need to get to the direct language with no sort of room for, okay, confusion or anything like that. And you're doing, like, the fact that you have a start here page is awesome. Showing a little bit of personality, like, hey, those are real trees in the background. I like that. Like, those little things like that, I don't think they're ridiculous at all. I love, just like, I could feel your personality in here, which is really cool, and that's a hard thing to come across. More information. Okay, so free temperature tracker. This is your freebie here. I'm going to zoom in on this. Enter your email address and you'll get a completely free, ready-to-print temperature tracker to use for your project. Awesome. Can you show me a screenshot of that? Can you show me a little example of just the printable version, where obviously it's just a thumbnail, so that's not going to do any good, but that will encourage me. Number one, it'll draw my eye to there, and number two, it will also get me more enticed to go and get it, right? So people want to see what they're going to download. We talked about this on Monday when we talked about lead magnets, right? So that's really key. Also, I like this image here better than the one on your homepage because it shows more context, it shows the ends, and what I would do is I would even do a little bit of teaching in this image, right? Like, chat, follow me, let me know if this would help. If you didn't know what a temperature blanket was, but you saw this image, and maybe there was an arrow pointing to this one that said, July 20th, 80 degrees, July 21st, 76 degrees, July 22nd, and kind of going around the circle here, and then maybe some text up here that says, 50 degrees, and then underneath your personality comes in, this was a cold day, I remember, right? Like, those little things could be really cool when we go that. What's the black, by the way? Does that mark like a new quarter, or like, I'm just curious. I don't know. But that would show me context of what this blanket is, right? Arrows pointing to the different spots. Then I would get it. I remember the first time I heard about a temperature blanket, I literally thought it was a blanket that I could turn the dial up and down to get the right temperature, like a heater, but it also did like cool, right? Cool blankets. So yeah. I like this image, and if you just like point it to certain spots and put it on the homepage, I think that would be really neat. Right? Or even this image, like, I like this image too because it represents your colors, but again, it's zoomed in and I don't have context that this is a blanket. It could also be a scarf. It could also be something else, right? But if you had maybe like some text on top that, or arrows pointing that said like, oh, in Celsius also, thank you, Jonathan, because this is a worldwide thing, right? You could point like 75 degrees, 70 degrees, 75 degrees, 80 degrees, or what have you. That would be really cool, I think. I didn't know what a temperature blanket was until Pat just explained it. Cool. But Margaret, you're doing excellent. I think you're off to a great start. Great. I was about to see like where maybe some resources would be. So let's go to resources. I love resource pages because these are money makers on websites, right? My top resources, nitpicks, great. Amazon. Can you get specific on maybe which things on Amazon I can get? I love that you have a whole page here though, but I was expecting to see some tools or to see some yarn and things that I could see and want and click on. I'm not necessarily sure what this image is doing here in terms of helping you. I think something related to the crafts that you are teaching would make a lot more sense. Again, stitching in the woods, I get the theme, but maybe if in the woods you had some yarn, right? Like, what if there was a really nice close-up image of yarn sitting at the foot of a tree? Now you're almost making the connection of, yes, temperature blanket, but nature and being one with nature and using nature to help inspire you. Like, that's really cool. Just an image of some trees here like this wouldn't do a lot. So this is the resource page here. Again, I was expecting some sort of images of that. But I wasn't seeing that. And this image here sort of like doesn't serve purpose. If I remove it, it doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt to remove it. But if it was an image of like I said, some yarn at the bottom of a tree or next to some branches or whatnot, maybe part of a blanket sort of on the surface of the ground, that might be really cool. Graham Goody says, I love your site. This is what you do. Very cool. Great website topic for affiliate sales. Indeed, indeed. The other cool thing that I think would be amazing, that could be sort of a next phase for you after a lot of these things are taken care of, is how might you build a community around here? Do you have a Facebook group or a Facebook page? Or are you excited about potentially bringing together the other people who are doing this alongside with you, right? Where every week, the group can come together and share progress on their blanket, and that would start potentially conversation about, wow, it was a cold day where you're at. Look at me, like I'm over here in Florida and it's ridiculous. And it's hot, and my blanket, it's a lot more bright, and yours is much cooler, and like we can connect with each other. This would be an amazing resource and a place, a hub, if you will, for you to be a leader to other people who are doing this too, and not just you connecting with them and them connecting with you, but them connecting with each other, right? If that makes sense. This is one of those things where when you have people doing things like that, like there's people, for example, who do this in the digital world, right? If you help people start websites, we can, hey, guess what we're doing here? We're all sharing our websites together, which brings the community together, and people are learning from each other. If you help people with video, why not have some of your students share their video with the community and have the community sort of inspire and get motivated from each other? And you can do the same thing with your physical product here too, and have it be a great conversational piece, which I think would be cool. All right. Awesome. Cool. That was a lot of fun, Margaret. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And Facebook, yeah, I understand that. I think it's sometimes a very smart thing to kind of just get away from every once in a while. But perhaps if it is there just for the reason of being in the community. I mean, I only go in for my Facebook groups too. I don't even interact on my personal page. I usually mostly interact on Instagram and on Twitter. Hey, Peter, glad you could make it today. We're doing some website and YouTube channel reviews. So let's move on. I'm going to move on to, now I'm going to go back to YouTube. And we're going to go here. I'm sharing my screen in just a second.
Hi, that is Mark Daniel, the Disney dude I see in parentheses. I love that. If you don't know Mark, you're going to love Mark. I bet you do, though.
So we're going to go into Dole Whip Dad, who is Disney, family, sports, food. Thank you for the super chat. Wow. I appreciate you, Michael. I have made this channel one of my primary resources for evolving to the next level. Wow. Thank you, Michael. And thank you for the super chat. That goes to a organization this month called Polaris Project to help put a stop to human trafficking. That's who we're supporting this month. Thank you so much. All the new members who come in. If you don't know what membership is, it unlocks certain emojis. You get some perks. We get to communicate in the community section in YouTube together with just us. And so if you'd like to subscribe, you can. If you'd like to be a member, you can. Not required there. You don't have to pay anything here. That just the fact that you're here is very supportive too. But let's go into Dole Whip's dad stuff, and let's see what we can do. So Disney family. So I like the sort of just themes of what we're seeing here really quick. Sports and food. So that's kind of a unique blend. And I like that. So you have food here, Disney family, sports, and food. The sports thing is the thing that throws me off. That could be something that could maybe throw other people off too, perhaps in a good way or also a bad way, right? So just keep that in mind. Like these images, you're here with your family, Dole Whip, everything. Yeah, absolutely. Dole Whip, everything for sure. I love that. So it looks like you are going live every once in a while. I was expecting it to be sort of a welcome video, but it's not. It's okay that these videos that are right up front here that autoplay are not, they don't have to be the welcome video. In fact, on my channel, it's not a welcome video. It's just a popular video that relates to something I'm doing right now. Go Whip Dad, $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You're amazing. So you could have a welcome video. I think a welcome video perhaps could help Dole Whip Dad because it would explain a little bit more. I think that we don't quite know what we're going to get here. Themes of Disney, family, sports, and food, awesome. But what about them? Are you uncovering mysteries about them? Are you finding hole-in-the-wall spaces? Are you just wanting to bring people along your journey with relation to these things? I still don't know that. And the fact that you also don't have a welcome video, I have to now try and figure that out. And if I have to work too hard to try and figure that out, I'm gonna leave. I don't necessarily know if this is for me or not. I'm interested enough because I thankfully am a Disney freak as well and love food too. So that's, maybe it's the marriage of Disney, family, and food all together or something. I don't know. I'm just making that up, but that could be something that could be really, really helpful. Looks like you go live, which is really great. I love this background. You look very friendly. I think that having, you know, more of like, I like this image here because it has a lot of context, but these don't get seen at this large scale, right? So even if it's just a zoom in on your face or maybe you holding some Dole Whip, like even this image here, I think if it was this, and I see you want to have your daughter in there too, which is totally fine. But again, at a smaller scale, like if I were to scale this down, like the image of you goes away, the background goes away. I just see some just kind of splotches there now. And remember, your avatar is what people see in the comment section of lives and whatnot, and when people go to your channel. So just keep that in mind. Let's scroll. Let's go back down. Okay, cool. Oh, this is 100. Is this 100%? This is 100%. Am I doing that right? Okay. Anyway. Okay. Latest videos, good stuff, popular uploads, created playlists, past live streams. I think our categories. I was expecting to see Disney trips, sporting outings, food, family lessons or something, but I see categories that are more about the content, and people aren't interested in how you divide your content. People are interested in the categories of what your content is about. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know, chat, if that makes sense, because that's a big sticking point. All right. Let's see. I am all over the place here. Sorry about that. Am I not showing the screen? Oh, okay. I am showing the screen. Love that image with your daughter. Jonathan's asking, what is Dole Whip? Dole Whip is like a pineapple sort of gelato type substance that is probably one of the most delicious things in the world. It has a really creamy texture. Dole Whip, Dole, the pineapple plantation, and Dole Whip is sort of a frozen dessert similar to a gelato related to that. Did I get that right? So Dole Whip Dad is some Disney thing. I had no idea. Right. Thank you for that feedback. And we need to get a little bit more upfront with that, right? So Dole Whip Dad, take this, and hopefully you're getting inspired or motivated from it and not feeling deflated from it, because this is all here to help you. It is about food, Disney. So let's zoom in on that. Like Disney plus food equals happiness, right? That could be maybe even the tagline. Disney plus food plus family equals happy. The sports thing, again, is throwing me off a little bit, and I don't see any sports-related things even when I scroll down here, if that makes sense. So great, categories. Let's go into some of these videos, in fact. I'm going to go into videos, and I want to see what your most popular video is and how... Looks like you're coming out with a video a day. You have so much great stuff, it looks like, that we need to better categorize them on your homepage. And again, it looks like your thumbnails are some of them stand out to me. Some of them are very, very crowded. Like this one here, for example, there's way too many wordings. There's too much words here. I think like this image here plus adults in Disney would be amazing. Just sort of stand out a little bit more. This one stands out to me because it's your nice friendly face here plus pins, which is really great. Any images with larger faces capture people's attention way more. Which Muppet are you? When you have text on top of a lot of noise like this, noise meaning it's a crowded image, you want to put some drop shadow on the text so it stands out a little bit more, where it's a little bit darker behind the text so it pops out a little bit more. Right now it just blends in. This is a really good thumbnail too. Is Disney good investment now? It just has a really nice image of something iconic in Disney, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, these some of them have way too many words, and if it's remember, people are finding them on their phone, so it can be very difficult to find them. But let's go into one of these videos and see. So this is Disney Pins Live. I want to go into a lot of live videos similar to me, which is kind of cool. So this one, I mean, you have this beautiful image of Epcot. It's purple that stands out, and then it says mom charged with having 2 guns in diaper bag. So this doesn't even relate to the thumbnail doesn't even relate to the topic. It would be, what if there was a image of a diaper bag with an arrow pointing into it? I wouldn't put a gun on the thumbnail because that's not, I don't know if that would not be good or not. It might be, flagged, but just something related to the content I think could spark a little bit more. And you can see this actually had more views because people were more interested in something like that. Okay, so these all are really long videos, which is fine, and they're live. So let's actually start one of them. I want to see how you start these live streams. I'm going to pick this Disney pin one.
We are alive. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's having a good Friday. Oh, I didn't put the banner up. Let's put the banner up real fast. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a great day.
So just mind you, we're watching a live stream later. It's very difficult to have something be perfect for both the live stream audience and the people who are watching later. So there's a couple things we can do here, Dole Whip Dad. If there is, for example, moments in the beginning of your live video where you're just a little bit more interactive, you know, you're kind of waiting for people to come on before you start sharing the information, which is totally cool because people can come in and they can interact with you and stuff. Just mind you that when people watch the video later, it's going to be a lot of dead time because it's dead to the people who are watching later. They're not there live. They're not getting that fun interaction that you're offering for people who had live, right? Which makes sense. However, you can, in YouTube, edit out those parts and keep the same video, same analytics, everything. You just have to trim it. I will say, however, that if you trim the video, the chat goes away. So there's pros and cons there. So what I try to do on the income stream, as you might know, is I start the show by getting very clear about what we're going to talk about today. And I even address the people who watch later, hashtag team replay if you're watching it. And I just keep those things in mind. And then I do try to interact and encourage those people who are watching later to come and be live with us because that's part of the fun. But it is something that can still be helpful. And in fact, most of my views come later because I try to get a hook that's relevant for people in the beginning, if that makes sense. So if you started this one, you can just even be like, legit, you start the live, you see you're live. You don't even have to go, and we're live. You can just say, which is a very common thing to do. Like, it's the most common thing to do. But you could start this, essentially, and you go, hey, welcome today. If you're watching the replay, stick around because we're going to review some pins live. And for those of you who are coming in now, what's up? Welcome. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Jim. Good to see you here. Today, I'm going to show you what's underneath this blanket, right? And now, like, I'm just making up hooks, right? So underneath this blanket right here, I'm going to share with you some special pins that you probably haven't seen before. So stick around. And if you're coming in right now, again, we're talking about pins today. And so you see how I just in 10 seconds got people hooked on what we were doing there. And I am trying to get better at creating open loops. So this, with physical products, a very easy way to do it is to, in the beginning of your video, sort of like hide the thing and say what it is, talk about it, and then you can reveal it because people want the reveal, if that makes sense. Cool. So hopefully that helps, Dole Whip Dad. Just a few things there. And I want to finish off with Grandma Goody here. Grandma Goody, like I promised. So Grandma Goody, Bible stories. See, like, look at this image of her face. Very friendly. She's like, they're here to help you. This is a character that she plays, and she's awesome at it. And as opposed to the one where the faces were a little bit smaller and Disney was in the background, this is like, hey, this is who I am. This is my personality right there, right? So I'm going to click on Grandma Goody. Welcome video. That was not there before. Look at this. Look at the text up here. Grandma Goody's Bible Stories. Kids get story time with a safe, loving grandma. New video every Sunday. I would say that this stuff on the left-hand side is a little, like, there's a little bit too much here now. You had like nothing before, and now there's a little bit too much. I love the image of you and your dog, though. Wow, this is a beautiful sketch. That is so cool. And then everything else is good, though. GrandmaGoody.com, Grandma Goody's Bible Stories, story time with a safe, loving grandma, new video every Sunday. This here can just be, the stuff on the left-hand side here is extra. I get it. That just will insert itself into the videos already, essentially, and is a little bit distracting. But other than that, I think it's really great. Okay, I want to play this welcome video.
Hi, kiddo. I'm Grandma Goody, and this here's Bo. And I just wanted to say hi and tell you that I would love to have you be one of my kiddos. And you know what? I only love 2 things more than anything else in the world. Well, 3 things. Okay, sometimes I forget. But one of the things I love more.
So for those of you watching in the chat, mind you, Grandma Goody's talking to kids here. She's developing videos to teach and has put on this amazing character to be a support system and to be somebody who they can listen to. And she's speaking to kids, right? It might sound kind of weird to us because we're adults, but she knows how to do this and people are interested, which is really great. I'm not going to play the rest of that because I want to see some of these later videos. Wow, the thumbnails are blowing me away, Grandma Goody, compared to what I remember seeing before. This is amazing. And again, you're showing up in every video in interesting ways. I mean, look at how out of the box and how this is so great. This one here, go fish for a surprise with Grandma Goody. That's really cool. Let's play on this and see what happens.
Hi, kiddo. I'm Grandma Goody, and I'm here to tell you a Bible story. And in case you can't tell from how I'm dressed up, this story has something to do with going fishing. You see my sign right there? It says, "Gone fishing. Catch you later." Anyway, I don't know if you like to go fishing, but there's a lot of fun ways you can go fish. This story starts out...
Cool, I like the cuts there, right? I was wondering if you're gonna go just straight through the whole time, but you had a little cut there. I'm curious to this black bar on the left-hand side though. That's me. That's my bad. I was zoomed in and that's my fault. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. There we go. Thanks, Dolop Dad, for the donation. I appreciate you.
Back in the land of Israel, and it was in the time when Jesus had been preaching and moving around and doing all kinds of miracles for over 3 years. Peter, which was Jesus's friend and disciple, and Jesus had just gotten back from an exciting trip.
So I like the hook in the beginning, and now you're diving into the story. I think that's really smart. It's hard to do with storytelling, because sometimes we just want to dive into the story, and sometimes that can work, but I think that you've provided a lot of context for what Kata is about to learn here, which is great. You made it fun. Okay, now listen, right? It's almost like you hooked them in with the fun stuff, and now you're going to teach them and put all the story together. I like that. I'm just going to scroll through here really quick. Cool, you're just doing story time, which is great. Comments are turned off. That's interesting, and that's maybe because you have kids watching, and I understand that.
I'm Grandma Goody, and this...
Let's see. Let's see what some of your most popular... You're almost at 100 subs, Grandma Goody. I would keep up the good work and see how you might be able to maybe... wow. Your thumbnails are perfect for kiddos. This is very similar to a lot of gaming channels. I would, in fact, Grandma Goody, get into some gaming channels that are really popular and just kind of get a sense on how they are interacting with their kids. There's a lot more of the cuts and the zoom-ins and stuff that I think might be the next phase for you. If you look at some gaming channels, like if I were to go to, for example, Dantdm. Dantdm is a YouTuber who's a favorite of me and my kids. I built the most dangerous farm in Minecraft. Let's see if he starts with him here.
Hey guys, Dan here. Welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore. Now, today's episode is going to need a little bit of backstory because something weird happened. So I was live streaming.
So do you see how, like, I mean, of course he has an editor, right? But watch the zoom-ins. He has these really interesting zoom-ins, or even if they're just cut zoom-ins, he has them sort of like fade into the zoom-in. But let me count how many different movements in the video there are right up front.
Hey guys, Dan here. Welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore. Now,
two with
today's
the thing moving,
is going to need a little bit of backstory because something weird happened. 5. So I was live
swipe
streaming,
up 6.
Doing some odd jobs in Minecraft.
And now you're in the game, right? So he's got a lot of things that sort of just absolutely are. He's nailed down, right? These guys, these gaming channels, absolutely have nailed down what works for kids and what doesn't, right? So
hey guys,
if I were to go here, sorry. So he, again, take clues from these people. Ridiculous faces go a really long way. Images of the thing do awesome. He hardly has any text on here either. But again, yes, he is somebody who is a lot more well-known. But he is somebody who would be a great person to learn from. Very kid-friendly as well. And he is an expert at this stuff. So take some clues. Take some clues from these bigger gaming channels for you, Grandma Goody. And I think all of us can do that. If you have a channel similar that's out there, find another channel and see what's working for them. And don't copy straight up, but you can adopt. You can get inspiration and go from there. So hopefully that was. Please play Take Down a Bear. Okay, let's finish off with that.
Hey guys.
Scrolling back. And I'm waiting for it to load. There we go.
Hi, kiddo. Let's play with a sling thing. What is Grandma Goody doing? She's playing with a sling thing
there you go.
That she made at home. And you can too. Come and join the fun. That was so fun. Hi, kiddo.
Cool. So you've got the lighting here is a little bit weird, but that's okay. I love the watermelon sort of outfit, by the way. Okay, so you had some more B-roll like that, which is really great. More of that would be good. And in fact, this video has more views than some of the other videos that you've had, and probably because it's helping people stick around a little bit longer. People want to, you know, perhaps even share it, and I love that too. So that's great. How do you move the camera on a low budget? It's all in post edit, right? I'm doing this right now just with software, right? You can even do some sounds like. But you can see it completely changes the feel, right? I should have done that earlier. So that can work. Anyway, Grandma Goody, this is excellent. Do more of what you're loving, what you're enjoying. I can see what you're learning and implementing, and I would just continue to do that. Keep up the good work. And thank you all for being here today. What a quick hour. Tomorrow, come in because we're starting something new here. We started it last week. Super Chill Sundays. I think that's what we're going to call it. Super Chill Sundays, where we're just going to chat. We're going to have some chill music in the background. I'm just going to answer some questions, a little bit more casual, sipping a coffee together, and we should do that. But yeah, well done. Team Flynn, thank you so much for being in today. You inspire me to wake up every single day and serve, and your support is just unmatched. I'm so thankful for you, and I can't wait for another upcoming week of amazing stuff where we're going to dive into the world of affiliate marketing. So we're going to talk about affiliates from both points of view, from you trying to sell more of other people's stuff and how to recruit people to sell your own stuff too. That was from request of the chat yesterday. So I listen to you guys. I do whatever I can to support you, and I'm looking forward to chill out with you tomorrow. No Twitch today. We're just chilling today, and can't wait to chill with you tomorrow. So as always, Team Flynn for the win. Come back here tomorrow. That's where you want to head, and just keep up the good work, everybody. You're amazing. Take care, and have an amazing weekend. Bye.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep
If you want to get the replay from that webinar I did last Thursday, this is where
It's
you
the
want to go.
kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Bye, everybody. You're amazing. Peace out.
Bruh.